from the TCO in Wesley Chapel was when I opened the envelope. And just because they didn't deliver it to me because I wasn't home, doesn't mean I knew what was inside the envelope. They can claim whatever they want. Again, police are allowed to lie. And they did lie, because the public records say 810 and the envelope says 66159. And as soon as I got the envelope, I went there within 3 days and I filed my appeal. They refused to take it. They refused to take it. I left it there. I bombarded him with phone calls and emails, and finally he sent me an email back saying, after further review of the law, I'm going to give you a hearing in this case. And then he tries to bring this up again, that it's untimely. It's very timely.
What was the date when you said you opened it? What was that date?
It was like March 3rd or 4th.
And when you said you opened it, that's the date you physically had it in hand?
Correct. That's the day I went to the post office and signed for it.
That's the date you picked it up?
Because before that, I wasn't available. I wasn't home. Then when 3 police officers showed up, and all my neighbors are calling my wife asking, what's going on over there? Like I'm some type of terrorist. To deliver one document, they brought 3 police and 3 police cars. I wasn't home. Then we had phone calls. I said, why don't you just send it through the mail? It's a show of force, an intimidation tactic that the Pasco County and Institute for Justice has documented very well. Their minority report policing and their intimidation tactics. It's their policy to target people they don't like. And they could say whatever they want on the phone. Again, a cop's credibility is 0 according to the Supreme Court because they're allowed to lie. The document said I'm charged under 810. This document said I'm warned under 66159. How could I know before I opened the envelope?
What was the date? One more time, I'm sorry.
As far as what?
The date you signed for the letter and received it.
It was like March, I don't know specifically, but it was like March 3rd or 2nd. And the weekend went by, and I went to his office directly and delivered a handwritten copy, and they tried to refuse to take it.
Right. How many days was that?
3 tops, 4 tops.
He picked up in the post office on February 29th and filed his appeal on March 5th.
Okay.
So if you start the clock when he picked it up from the post office, it would be considered a timely appeal. It would be 5 days later.
Absolutely.
Our argument is that it's from when it was issued, and the standard is not actual knowledge, but you or should have known.
Issued to who? Who was it issued to? The post office? It wasn't issued to me.
The ordinance says it has to be issued by a sheriff. A sheriff.
Yeah, they did it through the mail.
I understand the technical argument, Mr. Bounty, but I agree with Mr. Filax. I think it would be unfairly prejudicial to Mr. Filax to impute knowledge of what he was being charged with to a proper appeal without having it in hand. I find a difference between demolition appeals, because those are physically taped to the front door of the property, and that's where the constructive knowledge comes in. If notice from the post office says we have something for you to sign to receive mail, I don't think that provides any constructive.
I also have the video he's talking about where he specifically says...
I'm ruling in your favor, let me just finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think it would unfairly prejudice the county in extending that time frame from the date of him receiving it, even if that's not the exact words of the ordinance. That's how I interpret them. I would believe that the intent would be 10 days from the date that they were given, which would also include receipt the notice. So I'm going to deny your motion. Over Mr. Filax's objection, will continue with the hearing.
So before I call the first witness, I have a couple exhibits that I'd like to move into evidence. I'll pre-mark them. The first is just a copy of Article 6 from Pasco County Code Ordinances, Section 66, 157 through 159, trespass warnings for public property.
This has been given to Mr. Filax?
Yes.
It has when?
Everything was emailed to him on Friday afternoon.
Now, how you can confirm I received that?
Everything was
I'm going to
emailed.
ask you, so will you show it to him then? Just like you, whatever you gave me, I had them show you.
Okay, thank
I
you.
want to make sure you know what they're giving you. any objection in this being entered as evidence?
Yes.
What's your objection?
I wasn't trespassing, I wasn't violating any policies.
I'm asking about this being entered as evidence.
There's no, it's irrelevant. I wasn't doing anything on that piece of paper that,
I'll overrule your objection.
Okay.
I'll find that this will be admitted as county's pre-month exhibit A.
Exhibit B is the trespass appeal that you filed with my office on March 5th.
Presume
Go ahead.
a copy of that, Mr. Filax?
yeah, I wrote that.
Okay, so any objection to this being entered as evidence?
No.
No objections to be entered as county's B.
And Exhibit C is just the notice of hearing for this proceeding that was posted in the government center as well as sent via first-class mail and email.
You seen a copy of that, I presume?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Any objection to being entered as county C?
All right. First witness is Mr. Jeffrey Gentry. Good morning.
Good morning.
You previously been sworn, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name.
My name is Jeff Gentry.
Mr. Gentry, where are you employed?
I am employed at the Pasco County Tax Collector's Office in Wesley Chapel.
And what is your position at the Wesley Chapel Tax Collector's Office?
I am a safety agent and a driver's license road tester.
As a safety agent, can you just kind of describe some of your duties and responsibilities?
Basically to protect the facility, employees, the customers inside as far as protecting their personal property, their personal information, make sure everything goes according to plan.
Objection.
Everyone's okay.
What's your objection?
That is not his job title. His job is a security agent. It has nothing to do with keeping information secure.
I understand that you're not an attorney, and I'm going to give some leeway because of that. But the purpose of the objections are for legal objections to why something shouldn't be admitted as evidence, including testimony. If you disagree with
He's
testimony,
misrepresenting his job title and his job
you'll have
description.
your opportunity.
Okay.
Without giving you legal advice, what I would say is, if there's something like that comes up in testimony, you'll have your chance to ask him about that and to get him to clarify that in cross-examination.
Okay, sir.
As part of your job responsibilities, do you have security responsibility for the premises?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Gentry, do you have any prior experience in law enforcement prior to working this job?
Yes, sir, I do.
Could you go through that, please?
I have approximately 12 years in the United States Air Force as a security forces personnel and 21 years in the Las Vegas Metro Police Department.
And you work only in the Wesley Chapel office?
Yes, sir.
Does the tax collector have other offices in the county?
That's the only office that I work in, yes, sir.
Does the tax collector have other offices? in the
Oh,
county?
yes, sir, I'm sorry, yes, they do.
Are you aware of a prior trespass incident involving the appellant in this case from your Land O'Lakes office?
Yes, sir.
Going to February 2nd of this year, were you working that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay, and taking you to just about prior to 3 p.m., what were you doing?
I was conducting a road test.
Okay, and again, conducting road tests, that's for folks to get their driver's license.
Yes, sir.
So, when you finished that road test that you were doing just before 3 p.m., what happened?
I came in the building, as we normally do. I walk in to the front door, go behind the counter. Within a few minutes, before as I'm preparing the paperwork, I look over and I see the gentleman standing over by our front door gate area. I noticed that he had a body camera on his shirt, at which time I approached him.
Okay, and when you say the gentleman, are you referring to the appellant in this case?
Yes, sir.
The same person you've seen here today arguing in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you indicated that he was wearing a body camera?
Yes, sir.
Could you please describe it where that was?
It was on his chest there. It was attached to his shirt or a vest or some sort he had on.
And based on what you observed, what did you do?
I explained to him that we don't allow video recordings inside the building. At that point, he got argumentative, told me he had a court order. It's not my place to tell him what he can and cannot do. A couple of different discussions back and forth. I explained to him our policy. I tried to hand him a copy of our policy. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to see it. At that point, I told him if he didn't leave, he would be trespassed. He then told me I don't have the authority to trespass him, and he continued with his confrontation.
Okay. Did he indicate why he was visiting the tax collector's office?
He just kept saying he was there for to get public information, and I told him this is not the avenue to do it, that he would have to go through an email and ask for what exactly he needed. He never told us exactly what he needed.
So you actually tried to clarify with him what public record he was requesting?
Yes, sir. I asked him also if he received a ticket from our gate agent, at which time most customers come in, you get a ticket, you shut down the car to the counter. He did not have a ticket.
Did you advise him that he could leave the body camera outside and come back in?
Yes, sir. I told him he could go put it on his car. He said he would not be doing that. And I said, at this point, then, sir, you need to leave.
Did you ask him to leave more than once?
Several times.
I want to ask you a couple questions about the body camera. You described, were you able to observe if the lens was open?
It's the exact same camera he has right here, sir.
Was the lens open?
It was open or closed, I'm not sure. You can see the black screen.
Okay. Did you observe anything about the body camera that was indicative to you that he was recording?
Yes, sir. There was a red light flashing on the camera.
And you have how many years in law enforcement prior to the tax collector?
Total, I have about 32 if you count the military. But I have about 10 years wearing a body camera.
So that was my next question. You actually had experience wearing body cameras?
Yes, sir, I do.
For about 10 years?
Yes, sir.
And the body camera that the appellant was wearing that day, was it the same or similar to the model you're familiar with?
It's similar, but none of them are the same.
So from your prior experience with all those 10 years wearing body cameras, if the red light is flashing, what does that mean?
It means it's recording.
What about like standby mode, like it's on but it's not recording? What do you get?
You get a red light, and then if it's ready to record, it's green.
Explain that again.
It could be, standby could be green, or it could be a solid red, but if it's red flashing, it's recording.
Based on your observations, did it appear to you that he was in fact recording?
Yes, sir.
Did he, again, you advised that recording was not permissible in the building, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
And how did you respond?
He told me he can record wherever he wants to. It's a public place.
Objection. This is false testimony. I never said that. This is why I wish I was recording. All the more reason to record. You have an objective record.
I understand your objection, but it's not the legal basis. You have the chance to argue that or ask him questions about it.
Okay. Okay.
During your conversation with Mr. Filax,
He's talking to you, sir.
I'm listening, sir.
You don't have to stare at me. Judge,
Sir?
please.
Sir, can I not look anywhere in the room? Is that okay?
Sorry?
I don't understand the problem.
I don't want you staring at me with that evil look on your face, if you don't mind. Like you did that day.
I don't understand the issue, sir.
Just address Mr. Dunn.
There you go.
All right.
You're still looking at me, Judge. Let's get him under control.
Mr. Gentry, during your conversation with the appellant, did he acknowledge to you that the red light was flashing?
Ask say that again, sir.
Did he acknowledge to you that the red light was
He
flashing?
continued to say, I'm not recording, I'm not recording.
Did he say anything about the red light?
He just said he's not recording.
So, based on his refusal to leave, what did you do?
I just explained to him that we would call the Pasco County Sheriff's Department and they would be trespassed.
Okay. And did you report the incident to your office manager?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you have to
going back to speak to the office manager?
Yes, sir. Several times I had to go back from the front to where he was at, back into the office to speak with my manager.
So when you came back out, was he still out there?
Yes, sir.
And you indicated earlier you had tried to give him a copy of the written policy?
Yes, sir.
And did he take it from you?
No, sir. He refused it.
Okay. So his actions that you've testified to on that day, did it represent harm or potential harm to your customers?
So we had to stop business. Road test got behind.
Objection.
Can I finish?
What's your objection?
They choose to stop business. I have nothing to do with that. Saying they have to is bold-faced lie that they have to stop business.
You'll have a chance to argue that.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Gentry, you were describing how his actions constituted a harm to your customers.
From the continual, he didn't want to leave. We had to stop business. We had a couple of customers that were upset because they were trying to get their driver's license, get the road test. We were behind. And then at that point, he became vulgar, started using profanity towards myself, started insulting me, persons in my family, stuff like that. I guess thinking to try to get a rise out of me, I'm not sure. But other customers did hear that.
Okay. And did that interrupt your business operations?
Yes, sir, it did.
Did he ultimately leave the inside of the building at that point?
I think within a few minutes of him just realizing that he wasn't getting anything else from me, he did decide to walk outside, said he would wait for the sheriff's department out in the parking lot. He walked out and I closed and locked the door so he could not come back in.
And your office called the sheriff's?
Yes, sir. They showed up within probably 20 minutes after the whole situation started.
While they were on scene, did you request the sheriff's office to have the attempted trespass from the property?
I did, yes, sir.
Did Ms. Polk also, your office manager, did she also request him to be trespassed from the property?
I would assume so. I don't know. I didn't hear the conversation she had.
I don't want you to assume. Did you then request the sheriff?
I did, yes, sir. I did.
Okay. And was that decision based on your determination that he had violated the video recording policy?
Yes, sir.
Was it also based on his refusal to acknowledge your verbal request?
Yes, sir.
Was it also based on the potential harm to the public threatened by his actions?
So let me back up. What verbal request?
So, Mr. Gentry, you had verbally requested the appellant to not record in the building, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you had verbally requested for him to leave the building if he was going to continue to record?
Yes, sir.
Did he acknowledge those requests?
He did. He refused.
So, was your decision to have him trespassed based on the fact that your verbal request had gone ignored?
Yes, sir.
And those were, is it fair to say that those were requests for him to leave the building?
Yes, sir.
At a later date, did you provide a written statement to Corporal Zalva with the sheriff's office?
Yes, sir, I did.
What's that?
Is there any statement?
This false statement? Sure. Go ahead.
I'm gonna approach you with pre-marked as Exhibit D. You
Yes.
take a minute. You recognize that?
Yes, sir, I did.
How do you recognize that?
That's my handwriting. It's got my name on it outside.
Is that the same, or a copy of the written statement that you gave to the sheriff's office in this case?
Yes, sir.
At this time, we would seek to introduce the written statement into evidence as Exhibit D.
Any objection?
I object
Why?
because there's so many false statements on that.
Okay, is there any legal basis for the objection other than?
He's making false statements under oath.
Okay.
Just to respond, that goes to weight, not admissibility.
Right.
Welcome to cross-examine on that.
I agree. I'll admit it. Did you hear his response?
Not really.
Because that goes to weight of the evidence on what your argument goes towards what weight actually put into the evidence, not the admissibility of it legally.
Okay, sir.
I have no further questions.
This will be admitted as county's deed. Mr. Felix, you turn to the.
May I get a quick drink of water? Because I know it's going to take me a while.
Sure.
Is the font on here?
We'll take a minute break.
taking a water break over there.
Yeah, but we can take it up. Does anybody else need a break?
Right?
I'm sorry.
Anyone else need a
Very
break?
good, sir.
Do you need a break?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else? We'll proceed.
So, this is the court order you gave me last time, sir. Can I show this to you? This is the order you gave me. This is from, you should have it someplace.
It's a copy of the supplemental request to re-enter the Land O'Lakes property. The order on
So as you see right here, this is you saying that Land O'Lakes, I can only stay outside, correct?
Yeah, come to.
And the highlighted part says there's 4 other locations I can go exercise my First Amendment rights and do governmental business.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. So,
Do you want to admit this as evidence, or
sure.
you want me to take
Go ahead.
additional notice of it? Or that?
You can have it. No objection.
Okay. You admit it as respondents.
So we're clear that,
Sorry.
thank you, sorry. So we're clear that the Wesley Chapel Tax Collector's Office is one of the other 4 locations, correct?
Yes, I know.
Well, you wrote the order.
Yeah, you can't, I'm not under oath and I'm not a witness, you can.
Does my court order say that there's 4 other locations? Did you read the court order?
No, sir, I didn't.
Why didn't you read the court order? Why did you ignore it?
I would object to the characterization as a court order.
That's not a court order?
Yeah, I think we're splitting hairs there, Mr. Boundy. Order of the magistrate. I understand why it's going to court order. I think that's not the issue as much as I think you need to lay some foundation of, did he know that this order existed?
Did I tell you I had a court order that day?
Yes, sir.
Did I try to hand it to you?
Yes, sir.
Did you take it from me?
No, sir.
Why didn't you take it from me?
Because you were recording in our office, and it's our policy for you not to record.
Did you see a recording of mine?
Yes, sir, I did.
You
I
saw
saw the recorder on, sir.
you saw a recording of mine.
I saw the recorder on, sir.
Sir, that's not the question. The question is
That's my answer, sir.
non-responsive. This is going to be a long time after this happens.
I saw the recorder on.
Did you see a video that was recorded by this camera?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. Now let's stick to the question I'm asking, okay? Okay. Is this camera recording right now?
I don't see that it is.
So you don't believe this camera is recording right now?
I don't see that.
Here, you can hold it.
I don't see that it is.
So you don't believe that's recording right
I
now?
don't see that it is.
So it's not recording.
I don't see that it is.
In your opinion, is that camera recording right now?
I do not see that it is.
Is that responsive?
Sir, I'm answering the question.
Clarify the answer. What are you saying exactly?
I don't know what he's asking, sir.
Is that camera currently recording by your 29 years of law enforcement experience with body cameras?
Are you asking me if I see the red light on or not, sir?
I'm asking you if that camera's recording. Don't press any buttons. You didn't press any buttons.
No, sir, I didn't.
You sure knew I was recording that day,
It
right?
doesn't appear to be.
So it doesn't appear to be recording.
Doesn't appear to be.
Right. So if I could show you, Your Honor, there's no lights blinking, and it is recording. So blinking lights don't mean anything. And as a matter of fact, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office has body cams, and when they record, there is no red light blinking. Every camera's different. Every camera has different settings. And I told them at least 15 times I was not recording because I already had the court order. You told me I cannot record inside the tax collector's office, so I turned it off when I went in there, and I brought in my clipboard instead and took notes.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, so obviously you don't know.
Mr. Felix, let me just explain this. You have your chance to make that argument. Right now, let's just focus on asking him questions
All right.
based on his.
Sure, sure.
I know it's procedural.
So right here, right now, you believe it wasn't recording, you just testified that.
Sure.
But that day you knew it was recording somehow because of what?
The red light that was flashing.
Is there a red light flashing now?
Right now.
But it's still recording, isn't it?
You're correct, it is. So it can be recording anytime. It could.
Correct.
While you were in the office with the.
Wait, am I asking the questions or are you?
I can answer.
Your Honor, who's asking the questions
Can I
here?
not answer the question?
Who's asking the questions, me or
He's
him?
allowed to answer, but sir, don't ask any questions.
Don't ask me any questions from here on out, okay? So that day I was recording because there was a red light blinking?
Yes.
Today there's a red light blinking or no?
No.
But it's still recording, correct?
Yes.
So you have no way to know specifically if I'm recording or not, is that correct?
Sir, can I make a statement to that?
Objection.
And you can answer the question.
Just answer the
Yes, sir.
questions.
So most common people would know that if a red light.
Objection.
Sir, I'm
Most
asking
common
the question.
people.
I'm asking the question.
Objection.
Answer. You can object to only.
And in today's world, we all use Google, do we not? Google states, as a red light is on a surveillance camera, typically indicates that the camera is actively recording in operation.
And what does typically mean?
Typically, it means most of the time that's what it would be. Sometimes it is, and if it's not on, it can still be recording. So if you're in my office with the camera on or not, it is still recording.
So it's recording even if it's recording even if it's not recording.
If the red light is on, it is recording. You just showed me that the red light don't have to be on to be recording. So if you're in my office with the red light on or off, it's still recording.
Are you hearing this? It's recording regardless because he says so. So because you say
You
so,
know what the common people, what it says.
What
Everyone
says?
needs to know. The internet says exactly that.
the internet.
Yes, sir.
So everything on the internet's true? Is that where you're going with?
I'm just answering your question.
Is everything on the internet true?
No, sir.
What research have you done on this specific model?
I don't know that model.
So you have done zero.
Not on that model, no, sir.
Did you know this model when I walked in that day?
I saw this the video camera, sir.
Did you know this model of camera when I walked in there that
I
day?
did not.
So you did not know what type of camera I was using. You don't know its functions.
The camera is.
Do you know its functions?
Are we going to continue with this?
Yes.
Why wouldn't we?
Answer the questions.
Yes, sir.
This is the same attitude you got that day.
That's the same attitude I got from you, sir.
Right. No, sir. I went in there to make a public records request.
Yes,
Did
sir.
I go in there to make a public records request?
You never told
Records.
us what you needed, sir.
I object to speculation as to why.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with Mr. Gibbs.
I missed that.
He objected that your question calls for speculation.
Which question was that?
Did you go in there to make a public records?
Did I tell you I was making a public records request?
Yes, sir, you did.
Did you tell me? What did you tell me?
I told you that you have to submit it, reform, and you have to, we do it through email, we'll send it to you email. You said, no, I'm here to do it today. I said, you have to take a ticket.
Does-
You did not.
Does the Florida statute say I can do it in person?
I don't know, sir. I don't read Florida statutes.
Okay. When the police showed up, did you come outside and ask me what my public records request was?
Yes, sir.
When I was inside, did you say, we don't do that here and you're not allowed to do that here?
I said, we don't have it here. You have to submit it this way. And you said, I'm going to do it here.
So I was going by chapter 119. I was going by the law and you were going by?
What I'm told through our policy, sir.
Do you have a copy of this policy that says you don't do,
I said, sir, I don't do records requests. I let my manager know what the record request is. You would not tell us what request you want.
you did not ask me until
Yes,
the police showed up and you came outside after you threatened me many times.
Mr. Gibbs.
Sir,
How many times did you threaten me?
threaten you how, sir? I'm
Uh,
sorry, I didn't mean to ask a question. What was the threat that I made?
How many times have you threatened me?
Sir, I asked you to leave.
How many times did you threaten me?
I asked you to leave
Did you ask me to leave?
several times.
How many times did you threaten me?
I asked you to leave several times, sir.
He's non-responsive.
Clarify what you mean by threat.
Did you tell me that I'm not allowed to stand up on my feet?
Sir, I told you what, if you're going to stay in our office, that we have a policy that people cannot be standing because it is a violation of the fire code. If you're going to be there, I need you to have a seat.
Did you tell me it was illegal inside your office to stand on my feet?
I said you cannot be standing inside the office because it's against fire code is what I told you, sir.
So did you say it was illegal?
Sir, I told you you cannot stand in our office because it's against the fire code.
Again, he's non-responsive, Judge.
Sir, I'm
Did
asking
you
you
use
this
the word
question.
illegal?
I did not.
Did I come in and sit down at the waiting area?
At first, I don't know what you did, sir.
Did you review any surveillance footage?
No, sir, that's not my job.
Okay. During your testimony to him, you said, I said I was not going to stop recording. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You did say that. And then in the next breath, not even a minute later, you said that I told you I wasn't recording.
Yes, sir.
So I said I'm going to keep recording?
You told me at the point